Dive. Today, we welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've got a really interesting challenge ahead of us. It's maybe one of the most focused deep dives we've done.
Yeah, it's pretty unique.
We're basically analyzing something incredibly small, just a tiny snippet of text from a YouTube video transcript, plus, its title and the channel info.
Like digital archaeology, almost. We're taking these tiny fragments, these
Yeah,
shards, and trying to piece together the culture they came from. Every little bit counts here.
exactly. It's all about forensic information analysis, I suppose. When you don't have much context, the language, the tone, even the metadata that becomes your primary evidence.
Right. You have to squeeze maximum insight from minimum input. These few words, these characters, they could be keys to understanding a whole online subculture.
Okay, so let's get specific. Let's nail down our source material. We're looking at a video called Doodleshow Edited, but it's a layout.
Yeah.
And it was uploaded by a YouTube channel named, and get this, Atishay.
Wow. Okay. Just that name itself, with the stylized characters, the non-standard letters, that tells you something immediately, doesn't it?
It does. What does it signal to you?
Well, it shouts digital aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
It's a deliberate visual choice. It prioritizes a certain kind of online style over just, being easy to type or read conventionally. It's performing an identity.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the real core, the data we really need to grapple with is the quote itself. Just 12 words. Listen to this. This chaos.
Okay, lay it on us.
I don't know. Yeah, okay, jump. Yeah, woo. Come on, big money, Dr. Junior. Goodbye, my dear.
Huh, okay, wow. It's not really a sentence, is it? It's more like a rapid-fire burst of something.
Exactly. It's brief, it's frenetic, kind of confusing, but you can absolutely feel the emotion packed in there.
Definitely, high energy.
And that is our mission today. For you listening, we want to unpack this tiny, fragmented digital snapshot. Can we find some structure in this chaos, understand the tone, maybe get some insights into, immediate, unfiltered online communication today?
Okay, let's start with the text then, just the words themselves.
Yeah, good idea. What struck me straight away was just how incredibly fast the mood changes. The emotional velocity here is kind of wild. It
Annoying.
kicks off with confusion, right? I don't know, yeah, uncertainty. But literally 2 or 3 words later, it flips completely. Total enthusiasm, like aggressive action. Okay, jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. It sounds like someone reacting to 5 things happening all at once.
Yeah, that intense speed, that velocity.
Mm-hmm.
That's really key, I think, for understanding content built for real-time engagement.
Hmm.
Like linguistically, what even is that? It's just a string of interjections, commands.
Right.
It feels like the internal monologue of someone just reacting instantly to something fast-paced, maybe a game,
Hmm.
or a sudden moment on a stream.
Let's look at that opening bit. Yow. It's super casual, immediate, kind of stylized slang. What does just that one word tell us?
Well, yow, it signals informality right off the bat, immediacy. It's like, yo, but maybe with a bit more urgency, sometimes even annoyance, depending on how it's said.
Okay.
It plants the speaker firmly in a context where, normal conversational rules are out the window. It's all about the action. It's not hello, it's pay attention now.
Right. Cuts through the noise. And then, like you said, the phrases just ramp it up. You get that raw excitement. Yeah, woo. And then that specific phrase, come on, big money.
Ah, yeah, big money.
That's not just general excitement anymore, is it? That introduces something else. Risk. Reward.
Exactly. That big money bit is fascinating. It overlays the spontaneous action with this layer of competition or maybe gambling.
Or
Transactional culture, anyway.
could be anything, really.
Sure. Playing a game with stakes, reacting to a big donation on a stream, whatever it is. That phrase grounds the excitement. It
Yeah.
anchors it in a framework where there are stakes. It's just, success or maybe even catch is on the line, or at least they hope it is.
So it's high stakes emotional investment. Got it. But here's where it gets really weird for me, where the analysis has to dig deeper. The whole mood, the whole style just collapses with the last few words.
You mean the shift from, from the street slang, the yow, the big money, to suddenly hitting us with, Dr. Junior, goodbye, my dear.
It's incredible, linguistic whiplash.
It really is. It's a total collision of registers.
What does that suggest? It sounds like someone suddenly playing a role, doesn't it? A parody, maybe? Or an in-joke for a specific audience who'd get it instantly?
Well, it definitely suggests, I think, a high degree of fluidity. Role-playing, maybe identity shifting in these unscripted digital moments.
Okay, fluidity.
Yeah, but let's think about the function of that fluidity for the listener, for you watching. Why mix that, aggressive slang with this super dramatic, almost Victorian formality?
Right. What's the purpose?
Often in certain online spaces, it's kind of self-parody or irony. By suddenly adopting this formal, maybe academic persona, Dr. Junior, and then giving this ridiculously melodramatic farewell goodbye, my dear, they're signaling something. Like, okay, I know this situation feels intense or serious right now, but look at me, I'm refusing to take it entirely seriously. It's a way to inject humor through contrast. It's an immediate high-impact cultural reference, even if we don't know the specific reference.
Okay, but wait a second. Could it just be, irony, like a one-off joke? Does it have to signal some deep fluidity of identity? Maybe it's just a very specific meme reference for their little group, a movie quote.
That's a fair point and an important distinction. Is it deep structural fluidity or just like surface-level irony?
Yeah.
But I'd argue the effect is kind of similar either way.
How so?
The performance relies on suddenly pulling on this distinct, recognizable character mask.
Yeah.
Right? Even if that character only exists for literally 2 seconds, it's content designed for maximum emotional range in minimum time. And
Wow.
that range gets stretched wider by bringing in these theatrical, maybe borrowed identities. The switch is instant. The emotional delivery is pure theater.
So the takeaway from the text itself is what? Speed, fragmentation, sudden bursts of theatrical role-playing, all crammed into 12 words.
Pretty much sums it up, yeah. Okay, so now let's look at the frame. The structure that the creator says they've put around this chaos.
Right. This is where the metadata comes in, like our translator. Let's look at that video title again. Doodleshow edited, but it's a layout. The title itself is just, it's a contradiction, isn't it?
It really is a fascinating paradox. Let's break it down. Doodleshow. What does that suggest?
Spontaneity, messiness, creativity, like a quick sketch, something maybe unfinished or impromptu. Chaos is kind of implied.
I agree. But then that feeling is immediately controlled, isn't it, by the next 2 words, edited and layout.
Yeah, the creator is basically telling us, okay, this raw feeling you're about to see, it was looked at later, polished.
And that phrase, but it's a layout,
Yeah.
that's crucial, I think. It's an explicit promise of structure. The spoken text, the woo moment, that's the uncontrolled bit,
Yeah.
an immediate feeling. But the title tells us the creator provided a specific structure, a planned arrangement, maybe a format that makes the chaos understandable, or at least consumable.
It's like taking a really blurry, chaotic photo, but then putting it in a very neat, deliberate frame. The content itself is messy, but the delivery system, the packaging, is organized. Maybe it's just about efficiency, making it easy to digest.
I think it's more than just efficiency. It actually manages the audience's expectations.
What do you mean?
It tells the audience, look, what you're getting is raw emotion, pure reaction, Bidipati.
Don't worry.
I've organized it for you.
Exactly. I, the creator, have imposed a structure so you can process it easily. The layout becomes the filter, the necessary container for the doodle show.
Okay, that makes sense. And this idea of calculated structure, this deliberate presentation, it brings us back to the channel name, doesn't it? Avernus. No, sorry. We mentioned the stylized text earlier. Why is that visual aspect important again? Well, that style, using those non-standard characters, it does a few things common in these digital subcultures. First, yeah, it's aesthetic. It catches the eye in a busy feed.
Stanza.
But second, and this can be really important, it sometimes works as a kind of soft digital gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping? How?
Using unusual characters can make the channel name harder to search for. Sometimes that's deliberate. It can obscure the content a bit from, say, general search engines or maybe more mainstream audiences.
Interesting. So it subtly emphasizes that this content isn't necessarily for everyone. It's maybe more for those in the know. People who recognize the aesthetic or who are already part of that specific community. It adds another layer of exclusivity on top of the chaotic language.
Precisely. And let's actually analyze the words in the name too. Nimble wave.
Yeah.
If we connect that to everything else we're seeing,
Yeah.
what does that suggest?
Nimble wave. Okay. Nimble suggests agility, speed, quick reactions. Wave makes me think of something sudden, maybe powerful but fleeting. Transient.
Exactly. A wave hits fast, it's powerful, maybe crests, and then it's gone. Nimble adds that efficiency, that quickness. So the name itself suggests the content is designed to be like a sudden burst of agile energy.
Which perfectly mirrors the transcript.
It does. High speed, fragmented, hits you with a jolt, and then it's over. The creator's brand name aligns perfectly with the feel of the content's velocity. Nimbleway probably made short, high-energy clips of spontaneous reactions.
So the whole package, the name, the title, the actual text, it all seems unified by this theme of speed and controlled energy.
I think so.
Oh.
It's remarkably consistent, actually.
Okay, so if we pull all this together now, synthesize these findings, we have this super fast role-playing speech, the high-stakes phrases like big money, and then this title that suggests spontaneity inside a deliberate structure. What does this little artifact really tell us about the modern digital landscape?
What does it all mean? Yeah. I think this whole little package, like a tiny window into a specific digital dialect. It's content creation that's optimized purely for immediate emotional transmission.
Emotional transmission, not narrative.
Exactly. The speaker isn't primarily trying to tell a story or convey complex information. They're maximizing their immediate emotional output, their effective intensity, if you want the academic term, just to hook the audience instantly.
Which means it doesn't really matter if an outsider understands who Dr. Junior is or what the big money is about.
Probably not. What matters is that the intended audience feels the rush, the shift, the drama of the moment. Clarity is secondary to feeling.
It's actually incredibly efficient communication then in a weird way.
It really is. If you're watching live or you're part of that community, the immediate sound, the woo, the big money, that's enough. It transmits the urgency, the excitement. The content works on the idea that emotional resonance comes before logical understanding, maybe even replaces it sometimes.
And this connects to you, the listener, because it shows how much of the online world you navigate, especially on platforms that push short, reactive videos, operates like this. It blends that intense, raw, unscripted feeling.
Yeah, the woo moment.
Yeah, with these sudden, almost theatrical shifts in character or tone. We're constantly getting raw feeling, but it's often packaged neatly for us in a layout.
Which raises a pretty big question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In this kind of environment, how much context do you actually need for digital communication to be, well, effective?
Right. If the main goal isn't to inform, but just to generate an immediate feeling or reaction.
To this tiny 12-word artifact, it arguably achieves maximum effectiveness with absolute minimum input. It does its job.
We feel the rush, we get the sense of stakes, we recognize the weird theatrical sign-off, even if the specifics are totally opaque. We've actually found quite a bit of depth, haven't we? Just from a dozen words and some funky characters.
We really have. We've seen how this little piece demonstrates this deep reliance on efficiency, using fragmentation, using theatricality to create high emotional impact, all wrapped up in metadata that promises structure and organization.
So here's something for you to explore, think about after this. Consider your own digital interactions, how you talk in different apps, different forums. Are you sometimes Dr. Junior in one place and Yao in another?
Yeah.
And when you consume content that feels totally spontaneous, totally raw, how often is that layout, that structure, just an illusion added later? A frame put around pure, unadulterated reactions simply to make it easier for platforms to sort and for you, the viewer, to consume?